Hello everybody, I'm Teldo, and today I'm going to be talking about the Darkrunner and ArcheAge and a few of the different builds that he can run. But before I jump into that, I'm going to be explaining real quick what kind of playstyle the Darkrunner has and if it's actually a class that you would enjoy. So, Darkrunner is a class with very high mobility, probably the highest mobility in the game because he has 6 gap closers. Um, he has very high burst, single target burst that is, and a couple of hard CCs to shut down your enemy that you can actually hit your burst. Other classes have more burst, like magical classes have more burst, but it requires a lot more setup time, and Darkrunner can just jump in, do his burst, and then jump out again. Since he has such high mobility, he can just outplay opponents a lot, and I really enjoy it. I think it's fun. It feels like a rogue slash assassin like class and other classes and other MMOs. I mean, and it's really fun to play, especially because of the really high mobility. Those 6 gap closers together with that sprint that you can get from Shadow Play, it's just amazing to use. So let's look at the build that I am usually running. That is my usual 1v1 build. Keep in mind that you have a lot of different build possibilities as a Darkrunner. You can always switch around a few of the skill points and just fit the build to your personal playstyle or to the things that you like doing a lot. Since I'm doing a lot of 1v1s, I don't need stuff like Frenzy, for example. I basically just focus on the straight 1v1 fight here for 1v1 arenas, and it's also pretty decent for solo PvP. So yeah, what am I running? You need 11 points in Battlerage with pretty much any Darkrunner build because you want that passive which gives you 15% extra skill damage. And all the other passives that I have here are pretty important too. The only thing that you can leave out is the Reckless Charge, but it's very good as well because it gives you a lot of movement speed whenever you use a mobility skill. But yeah, those two passives increase your damage by a lot. This reduces physical defense, this increases your skill damage by 15%. This passive is amazing as well. It gives you higher parry chance, and whenever you parry, you reset the cooldown on all your offensive Battle Rage skills. That includes Tiger Strike, Precision Strike, Charge, and Triple Slash. So it also resets your global cooldowns, which is really useful. So sometimes when you are in the middle of a Triple Slash and you get a parry, and you just click Triple Slash again, you basically have two Triple Slashes going at the same time, and it's quite a lot of burst. Can happen sometimes, but yeah. I'm also running this one, even with two-handed weapons. I think this one is really good because it gives you 8% melee critical rate, but it doesn't work with the ranged parry if you don't run dual wield. Um, as a quick note, I would recommend running both weapon sets anyway, but I'm gonna explain that in a later video. So yeah, I think battle focus is also very important because it synergizes well with deflect and retaliate, and all the other skills in here can be useful. But I chose to just run something like this because of 1v1's Shadow Play has a few very important skills. For example, Overwhelm is pretty much a must-have because it goes right into your burst combo. Drop back is kinda optional, I would say, but I like running it because you don't really need it. It's a little bit of extra mobility. You don't need a target for it, so it's very useful. Like it looks like that. Um, it helps you a lot to get around a bit faster. I would personally run it, but you can get rid of it and get something else if you really want. Stalker's Mark increases your burst by a lot. It synergizes well with your Overwhelm, makes your Overwhelm into a trip instead of a stun. Trip overall has no stun break. It only has immunities in some of the skill trees. So like if you trip someone, they're not gonna get out of it unless they have the PvP cloak. So that's a very important combo. Also increases just your damage overall by 21%. Stealth is pretty much always important. I would always take that. And Shadow Smite is also a must-have because it goes right into your burst with your Precision Strike. Very important for your burst. And Free Runner and Shadow Step are kinda optional as well, but yeah, give you a lot of mobility again, and I really like running that. And for the Auramancy tree, I have 5 skill points in there. Shrug It Off is a stun breaker. I think it's one of the reasons why you want to go Auramancy, so I would take that. Teleportation, same reason. That's the blink forward. Very useful. Helps you to escape or get around. Especially good for escaping, I would say, because it doesn't have a target requirement. And for the other three skills, they're not necessary, but I like running them. Thwart in combination with Inspire, or Hearten, I mean, it allows you to keep up 3 stacks of Inspire. So you just do that, and every 15 seconds you recast it. It lasts for like 30 seconds. And with that, you can get up to 24% extra attack speed, which is very useful. 24% extra attack speed increases your attack speed in general, increases the speed of your animations, and decreases your global cooldowns. So I think it's really good. And I use Leech for 1v1 fights, especially. In group fights, Leech isn't that good because it happens very often that someone just breaks your sleep right away. But at the same time, Leech also has a high chance of just stealing a buff from the target, which can be incredibly useful sometimes. So yeah, I like that build. I think it's very good in a lot of situations. But you can do a few small adjustments if you want. So, for example, you could get rid of Thwart and Inspire, and you could put that into Thunder, Earth, and Whirlwind Slash. Thunder, Earth, and Whirlwind Slash, I tried that build before. It's pretty good, especially for fighting multiple enemies. It's tricky to use, though, because Thunder, Earth has the cast time, and then you just attack people in front of you after the cast time. You can't move during that cast time either, so it's pretty tricky to use. But if you do hit enemies, you will slow them and deal quite a bit of damage. And afterwards you can combo it up with Whirlwind Slash, which knocks enemies down, or trips them rather, after they got hit by a slow. So if you combo up those two, you can do a lot in AoE fights, especially with Deflect and Retaliate. Those two skills reset, and you can just keep using it a lot. And if you can make use of it in a perfect scenario, it can be incredibly strong. Dropback helps a lot with using that ability because dropback makes your Thunder Earth instant for 2.5 seconds. So you could drop back and then blink to a target or something, or Shadow Step to a target or whatever, and then cast the Thunder Earth on them and combo it up with the Whirlwind Slash. Unfortunately, I don't have it skilled right now, so I cannot show it off. An alternative build, you could, for example, simply just take out Reckless Charge and put it into Frenzy. Frenzy is a very powerful ability to just burst people down. The thing with Frenzy is whenever you take damage, your physical damage increases by 30, and it stacks up to 10 times. So right now I have a physical melee attack damage, whatever, of 356. And if I get hit 10 times, my damage nearly doubles, which is kind of crazy. Because if you have a healer, and if the healer can keep you alive to take those 10 hits, you can go ham and you can become a killing machine. The problem with Frenzy in the end, though, is that you get stunned for 4 seconds, so that makes it not so good for 1v1s. And whenever you deal damage, you reduce your physical defense by 10%. So against physical damage dealers, it's not very good in 1v1s, you know? If it can be good against casters, though, because it increases your it decreases the magic damage that you receive by 21%. But yeah, it can be good against like Dreambreakers and 1v1s and, I don't know, Defilers. But most of the time I don't find myself using it. But if I would run around with a group that could heal me, Frenzy is amazing. It makes you into a killing machine, and you can also avoid the Frenzy stun with a few ways. You could just glide around. Like, you could start gliding right before you get stunned, or you could just stealth before you get stunned, and you will keep in stealth. There is also a really weird trick that you can... I'm not sure if it still works, but I made it work in alpha. Not sure if they fixed it. I can't show it off right now, and I would probably not be able to do it anyway if I had the skill right now, but you can mount up at the exact time when you get stunned. And it happened to me before that I was just on the mount being stunned and I could freely move around. I'm not sure if it still works though. But yeah, you could also just put the Reckless Charge / Frenzy skill point into Lasso if you run around with a really big group. In really big group fights, you can't go in as a melee, so pulling an enemy out with Lasso is pretty much the only thing you can do. But yeah, that helps a lot as well. That makes you viable in really, really large scale fights. There are so many things that you can do. You could also technically run Rapid Strike together with Triple Slash. Rapid Strike has more DPS overall. you would have to get rid of the skill points there. I'm playing with Meluno, and Meluno is a big fan of triple slash because he thinks it's just nice to have this fast attack. It has a shorter cast sequence, whatever. I mean, triple slash always wants to do the full 3 hits. Let me demonstrate that real quick. And rapid strike, you can just cancel it whenever, and it deals also more DPS overall, especially if you hit people from behind because it has plus 50% melee critical rate. But yeah, here with triple slash, if I hit that target, you can see it locks my global cooldown down for a long time. If I would use another ability, it would be a lot faster, as you can see. And yeah, a rapid strike would be pretty much as fast as another global cooldown. So it would allow you to react faster in the middle of a combat, but at the same time, triple slash also allows you to just kite away from your opponent after you use your ability, because it will always hit them, even if they're really far away. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to show some of the different builds that you can run, some of the different choices. I want to encourage you to try and figure out what you want to run yourself. I don't like just saying, yeah, this is the best build and you should run it. This is the build I run and you should run it, because that's silly, and it doesn't work like that. In this game especially, and in other games as well, there are always little adjustments that you can do to your build to just fit it to your playstyle or what your team needs or whatever. And you should just try to think yourself a little bit about what you want. Some of the abilities, though, aren't like... Most of the abilities that I just called are really useful, but of course some of the abilities aren't that great. For example, like, I don't know, Toxic Shot and Pin Down. That's why I only highlighted the abilities that can be really useful for a Darkrunner. And yeah, I hope this helped you. I'm gonna be making more videos. We'll be explaining the difference between dual wield and two-handed, weapon swapping in combat, and stuff like that in future videos. And yeah, see you guys next time, and thank you very much for watching. Bye!